Hi everyone. This video presents software testing principle. The subject name is software testing. First, see about what is software testing. The process of executing a program or application with the intent of finding software bugs, that means errors or other defects, and verifying that the software product is fit for use. This is known as software testing. Okay. Next, coming to the point, software testing principles. Okay. So testing principles are important to test specialist because they provide the foundation for developing testing knowledge. Okay. They also provide guidance for defining testing activities as performed in the practice of a test specialist or engineers. Okay. Some principle can be defined as a general or fundamental law or assumptions. Next one is a rule or code of conduct. Third one is the law of facts of nature underlying the working of an artificial defect, artificial device. Okay. So, in the software domain, principles may also refer to rules or codes of conduct relating to professionals uh, who are develop, who design, who test and maintain the software systems. Okay, testing as a component of the software engineering discipline also has a specific set of principles that serve as guidelines for the testers. Okay, so this is the testing principles. Testing principle is a very important component for software testing field. Okay, so basically 11 principles are available. Glenford Myers has outlined such as a set of execution based testing principles in his book. Okay, some of these principles are described below. Principle 1, 2, 8, and 11 are derived directly from Myri's original set, that is execution based testing. Remaining 9, 10, these two principles are not execution based testing principles. Okay, so next one is what are the 11 types of principles. So first one is principle 1. Principle 1 defines testing is the process of exercising a software component using a selected set of test cases with the intent of revealing defects and evaluating quality. Okay, principle 1 represents the main thing. First one is revealing defects and next one is evaluating quality. Okay, the software engineer have made great progress in developing methods to prevent and eliminate defects. Okay, so negative impact of software quality. Okay, so this first principle is execution based activity. This principle supports testing as an execution based activity to detect defects. Okay, it also supports the separation of testing from debugging, since the intent of the latter is to locate defects and repair the software. Okay, so main thing is the term is software component. Okay, it is used in this context to represent any and entire software system. Okay, so next term is defects, software defects. Okay, the term defects as used in this and in subsequent principles represent any deviations in the software that have a negative impact of its functionality, performance, reliability, security, and any other of its quality attributes. Okay, so this is the first principle, that means execution based principles. Okay, so next principle represents when the test objective is to detect defects, then a good test case has a high probability of revealing undetected defects. Okay, so this is very important one. This supports a careful test design and provides a scientist approach with which to evaluate test case design and the effectiveness of the testing effort. when the objective is to detect defects. Okay, the hypothesis is related to the suspected occurrence of a specific type of defects. Okay, so this principle is to prove or disprove the hypothesis, that is determine if the specific defect is present or absent. Okay, so next principle is inspected meticulously. Test results should be inspected meticulously. Okay, testers need to carefully inspect and interrupt test result. Okay, so several erroneous and costly scenarios are available. So failure may be overlooked and test is pass status, when in reality the software has failed the test. So pass fail status is very important. Fail status, time and efforts may be spent on trying to find the defect that not exist. Okay, so, a careful re-examination of the test results could finally indicate that no failure has occurred. Okay, the outcome of a quality test may be misunderstood, resulting in unnecessary rework or oversight of a critical problem. Okay, so next is the about principle 4. A test case must contain the expected output or result. This is the reality one. Okay, so expected output or result is very very important. Whether a defect has been revealed. Okay, pass fail status for the test. Okay, it is very important to have a correct statement of the output, so that needless time is not spent due to misconceptions about the outcome of a test. Okay, so next principle is test cases would be developed for both valid and invalid input conditions. Okay, so a tester must not assume that the software under test will always be provided with the valid inputs. Okay, inputs may be incorrect for several reasons. Software users may have misunderstandings or lack of information about the nature of the inputs. Okay, so invalid inputs also help developers and testers evaluate the robustness of the software. Okay, so next one is principle 6. The probability of the existence of additional defects in the software component is proportional to the number of defects already detected in that component. Okay. For example, if there are two components, A and B, okay, testers have found 20 defects in A component and 5 defects in B component. Okay, then the probability of this existence of additional defects in A is higher than B. Okay, so developers and testers need to decide whether to disregard the current versions of the component and work on redesigning or plan to expand additional testing resources. Okay, so next principle, testing should be carried out by a group that is independent of the development group. Okay, the requirement for an independent testing group could be implemented as a completely separate functions in the organization. So it means software quality assurance group. It is specialized part of the development group. They need the capability to be objective. Okay, so eighth principle, test must be repeatable and reusable. Okay, test. This information is valuable to the developers when the code is returned for debugging, so that they can duplicate test conditions. Okay. So next principle, testing should be planned. Okay, test plan should be developed for each level of testing, and objectives for each should be described in the association plan. Okay, test planning activities should be carried out throughout the software life cycle. It must be coordinated with the project planning. Okay, so 10th principle is testing activities should be integrated into the software life cycle. Okay, so next principle is creative and challenging task. Testing is a creative and challenging task. Some challenging tasks are available for the testers, software testers. Uh, comprehensive knowledge of the software engineering discipline. Um, testers need to have knowledge from both experience and educations as to how software is specified, how software is designed and developed. Okay, so a testers need to be able to manage many details. Okay, a testers need to knowledge of fault types. Okay, to reason like scientist and hypothesis that relate to presence of specific types of defects. Okay, a testers need to uh, educational training and work related experience. Okay, finally, to create and document test cases, to design the test cases, the testers must select inputs often from a very wide domain. Okay, these are all the challenging tasks for software testers. Okay, so these are all the software testing principles. Glenford Marys has execution based testing principles and non execution based testing principles are produced. Principle 1 to 8 and 11 are derived directly from Mary's execution based testing principles, and the principle 9, 10 to 1 is non execution based testing principles. Okay, thank you.